Hello, everyone. This is Captain. I'm back here again to talk about another episode on courtship in the right way or dating in the right way that will lead to a happy marriage. Um, what I'm going to be talking about today is about the fear of God. In a relationship, both parties, I mean the male and the female during courtship, it's very, very important to take your time to study your partner. According to Proverbs 9:10, it says, "The fear of God is the beginning of wisdom, and the knowledge of the holy is understanding." So the fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. That's Proverbs 9:10. So when two people are in relationship, courtship, to be specific, they actually need to study one another. That this person that I'm dating, that I want to end the rest of my life with, what is this relationship with God? How does he have the fear of God? What are the things that he or she is doing that can make me confirm and conclude that he has a fear of God in him? Before I start to give a sample of the fear of God or what is meant by the fear of God, it's very important for me to explain to most people that when we talk about the fear of God, it doesn't mean that you should be afraid of God. Some people misinterpret it that, why should I fear God? That's not the statement. The fear of God means you having the consciousness, the awareness of doing things in a godly manner, obeying God's instruction, doing the right thing no matter what it costs you. Because God has laid down the good things for human to be doing based on his principles, his guide, like the commandment. So when you carry out those things diligently, obeying the words of God, it actually implicates that you have the fear of God. Not that you're afraid of God, but you follow God's instructions. So that's the meaning of the fear of God. So during courtship, when you respect the do's and don'ts of your partner, probably your partner said he or she doesn't like a particular thing, and you avoid not to do those things, it means you respect the person, so the fear of the person. That is an individual explanation now. So let's go back to the fear of God. When you are in relationship, you're courting, and then you want to end up to marry, you need to take your time to study your partner. That, okay, this person I'm dating, the way he speaks with people is with respect. The way he speaks with me is with respect. And when it comes to being sincere in a godly way, he's always been sincere, or she is always been sincere. A good example is when a situation happens that your partner needs to speak the truth rather than lie. Your partner is always there to speak the truth about whatever has happened, because truth is godly. It might look minute, but a lot of people that doesn't speak the truth causes some of the chaos that's happening in the world today. There might be a little lie, but they all adds up. So in a situation where you can testify to your partner, oh, I trust my partner is going to tell me the way it is part of sincerity. So for the person to speak the truth with you always is actually practicing the fear of God. And these should be carried out with both partners having the fear of God in them. There's so many verses in the Bible that actually support that the fear of God is very important. Another one is the Proverbs 8:13 that says the fear of the Lord is to hate evil. Anything that is evil, if you hate it and you despise it, it shows you're practicing the love of God. And when you put the fear of God first in whatever you do, Even outside courtship or relationship, that you embark on a journey, on a project, and you put the fear of God first, following the instruction of God, that you're not going to do it in such a way that is not up to the standard of the requirement of that particular project. You do things accordingly, according to the book. You're not cutting corners. Or maybe you're doing a project, you're not using things that will cause a disaster in the future. For you to have been conscious of doing the right thing in the right way, you're practicing the fear of God. Not that you're afraid, but you're doing things according to the will of God. Another good example is during courtship, you've both decided that you're going to do everything according to the ways of God. For instance, I've talked about not lying. Another thing is not having sex after marriage. You're so conscious of such, and you pray and you're conscious of not being tempted. When you're conscious of things like this, you actually have the fear of God in you, and you're practicing it in such a way that we're going to go through this courtship together, and at the end of it, we're going to marry. That is the fear of God, that I'm going to wait for the right time and I'll do the right thing. That's the fear of God. And how do you know, or how do you find out that your partner or the person, either the male or the female, have the fear of God? It's down to those things I've talked about. And then there's some other basic things as well. The way you relate with one another. In a godly way, there's something we call respect. And respect is reciprocal. There's not a matter of a masculine gender here where you talk to your partner anyhow. Everything about God is peace. It's peace. There might be occasions where there is argument that you settle this amicably. But in a situation where the argument leads to a rout and it probably end up in physical, which is the last result, which should not even happen. When everybody have an anger issue, in a situation where you find yourself in a situation where your anger want to go out of control, and you remember that the God in you is a peaceful God, and then you calm down and try to control the situation. It might look natural to you. Maybe you are very good with managing your anger. It's because there's something in you. It's that fear of God that, okay, if there's an argument and I end up to a physical level with the person I'm cutting with, that does not illustrate the presence of God. That does not illustrate the fear of God in you. Another good example is if you have the fear of God in you, you will not be dubious. You will not take what does not belong to you. And according to the scripture, it says, thou shalt not steal. So that is a typical example of the fear of God. Maybe you're struggling financially and you're working in a company, and then there's an opportunity for you to steal. Or probably, I needed some money so that I can take out the person I'm dating or the person I'm in courtship with, and I don't have the money, and an opportunity arises for you to steal. It's the fear of God in you that will tell you, because devil will always come to tempt. The same thing with Jesus Christ. The devil tempted Jesus Christ. So we're humans. So the opportunity might arise that, okay, if I steal this thing, I'm going to use it to have nice time with my partner. All of a sudden, you don't really have a lot, and then you get home, and then you spoke with your partner that, I got this huge sum of money. It will not even happen at the first instant, because you have the fear of God in you, and you're contented, and you know with time, God will bless you with you working hard and working smart. So for you to take your heart away from that temptation of taking what does not belong to you is an illustration that you have the fear of God in you. or maybe you discover a particular amount of money lying somewhere in your in your system, in your account, and then you go home, you told your partner that, okay, this happened in the office. I actually saw this kind of amount of money. I could have taken it, but I left it. I had to tell my senior manager that, oh, this kind of money is hanging somewhere, and I put my this put your the attention of your manager to you, and you get home, you told your partner that, okay, this happened in the office, and I just told them about the money. Not in a situation where you saw the opportunity and then you grabbed the money. Probably you decided to buy one big car for your partner, and the partner as well probably receive it, not asking you where did you get it from. Then something is wrong with that relationship. But in a situation where, okay, let's say the other way around now, that okay, you got to, maybe devil has used you, and then you took this thing home, and your partner said, where did you get this? You're presenting me a brand new car, where did you get the money from? And then you explain to your partner that, oh, don't worry about it, I saw an opportunity, and I just took the money. And your partner accepted. That is not the fear of God. A good partner that have the fear of God will tell you, no, I'm not going to take this from you. It's so sad, the world nowadays, even if you say you're Christian, there's some people, not everybody, there's some people that do such. But when you have the fear of God in you, it will be difficult for you to take what does not belong to you, because the presence of God is in you. So during dating, during courtship in the right way, both partner need to assess the level of any temptation, and they put God first and they pass the temptation. So all these things that pile up when you're dating, you need to be able to know that the person I'm actually dating, the person I'm having a relationship with, I want to hand it to marry, have the fear of God. I've said earlier on, even the way you treat people goes a long way. Because if you have a partner that treat people arrogantly or look down on people, a time is coming that that same person will look down on you because he lacks the fear of God. Even the worldly people have the fear of God. They might do some things nasty, but when they come to God, they are conscious, they respect God. So don't jump into marriage. You can go into dating, a relationship, but another area that you need to study very well is either he or she have the fear of God. Even the way your partner relates with their siblings or with their parent, that you should respect your parent so that you will live long on earth. It takes the fear of God for you to be able to function in this area. And in a relationship, it is very important for each partner to have the fear of God. Another verse that I like to talk about is Deuteronomy 6:24. The Lord commanded us to obey all his decree. In order for you to obey the decree of God, you have to have the fear of God in you. You have to respect that God. Like I said earlier on, if your partner understand and follow your like and dislike, it shows that the person have the fear of God in you, in him or in herself. So in relationship, one thing we need to put forward as a partner when you're dating, even in marriage, the fear of God is very important. Because with the fear of God, there's peace. With the fear of God, there's holiness. And when there's peace, there's love. The fear of God germinates the love in you because you know the right from the wrong. We've been created in such a way that we know the right things from the wrong thing. The moment we start to do the wrong thing, that we hinder our partner, is actually illustrating that we do not have the fear of God. So in any relationship, during courtship or while you're dating, you need to study your partner if he or she have the fear of God. Another good common example is when your enemy or a friend of yours is going through a calamity or is going through some life challenges and you're mocking the person. That's not the fear of God. These are the things you need to study with your partner during relationship. That Even if you cannot help other people going through challenges, the process of you mocking them and laughing at them, it means the person does not have the fear of God. And life can happen to anybody. Nobody is perfect. We're just living with the grace. So when you're studying your partner, either he or she, when other people are in distress, does he help? Does he mock them? Does he laugh at them? I've seen a situation where someone went for a financial assistance from a bigger, maybe like an uncle, and the uncle's son died. The guy that went to the uncle for financial assistance, that the uncle rejected him, the guy that went to the uncle was actually mocking the uncle that good for him, he lost his son. That's an extreme. That kind of person will be difficult to share the rest of your life with. If it doesn't help you financially, that shouldn't mean you should mock him to that level. You should not even mock him at all. So that's an extreme situation. And when you are in a relationship and you're dealing with people with that kind of a attitude that laugh or mock other people's calamity, then the person does not have the fear of God. The fear of God wraps so many things that leads to love and peace. So it is very important for you to study your partner during courtship, if the person have the fear of God or not. If the person does not have the fear of God, I'm afraid the unforeseen circumstances beyond your imagination will happen if you eventually get married to the person. Fear of God is the beginning of peace, not only wisdom. And I'm going to repeat myself again. When you say the fear of God, doing the will of God is what it meant by the fear of God. Not to be afraid, not afraid, but having a respect and following the principle of God. So, to round up this my episode of courtship in the right way, your partner, you should be able to tell or say that the person you want to spend the rest of your life with in marriage have the fear of God. The fear of God is very, very important. I'm going to come back with another episode of what you need to watch out for during courtship. The fear of God is one. I've got 3 of them. The next one I'm going to be talking about in my next episode is love. And after love, I'm going to talk about kind heart. So we've talked about the fear of God now. So my next episode, we'll be talking about love. Well, thank you, everybody. And I would really appreciate if you can press the like button and remember to subscribe to my channel. I appreciate you, everyone. I'm going to catch you later. Bye for now. Thank you.